If you were a confused young person and you went to your psychologist and that psychologist recommended that you undergo controversial surgery, would the psychologist or the surgeon who performed the surgery be liable for medical malpractice if it later emerged that they hadn't asked important questions about whether you had some other kind of illness, whether you had things like autism, body dysmorphia, or other types of illnesses before recommending surgery as the best approach? Well, that question got answered yesterday in America, where a New York court saw $2 million in damages awarded to a young woman who sued her psychologist and her gender assignment surgeon for performing a double mastectomy, that is the removal of both breasts, on her when she was only 16 years of age. Now, this is a pretty interesting timing for this landmark case, because at the same time, here in Victoria and in New South Wales, it's currently illegal to do anything other than affirm the gender or the expressed gender of a young person coming to professionals, whether that be in school or whether that be in medical practice. So is this conversion therapy legislation setting Australian medical professionals up for future liability for future medical malpractice lawsuits? Well, there are several such lawsuits starting to make their way through the Australian courts, including one that I'm familiar with personally. The person involved in that at the moment, because of the ongoing litigation, isn't in a position where she is able to talk publicly about it. But the US case will be a very, very important milestone and will certainly send fear down the spines of many so-called gender expert medical specialists, including at the Monash Hospital and other areas where they've come under fire and criticism from Australian judges in family law settings. So do you think that someone under the age of 18 should be able to sue if a doctor has recommended they undergo irreversible surgery? Have a look at this case. I've linked it in the description so you can find out more about it. And let me know what you think. Are Australian doctors being set up for massive future medical bills? Do the Australian governments that have enforced these laws also have a liability to answer? I'd love to hear your thoughts. And as always, like, share and subscribe if you want to hear more of this content.